About last weekend, car shows and other stuff. Because I don't know what you did. We're going to find out what you did last weekend. Hi, Julia.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
I have been dying to know. I was good. I didn't ask yesterday how the car show was. It was in Eureka, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eureka Days.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, oh, man, are you kidding? Love car shows. Love that Eureka car show. It was a great time. It was a great time. And the weather held out. There's some rain. So, there was also a big car show at the River Festival the same day, at the same time. So there was some concern in Eureka that some of the cars that are usually there would not be there. But it was fantastic. Great turnout. Had a good time. We could talk a little more. What did you do? I don't even know. I've seen you for 2 days now, and I didn't ask you what you did this weekend. You probably went out of town, or what'd you do?
Yeah, we were committed to the streaming, so we didn't talk about it. I helped with Special Olympics.
That's right.
Out at Mays High.
I knew that.
Yes.
I knew you were doing that. How'd that go?
Yeah, that was great. It was so much fun.
Okay.
Always incredible. I've done it a couple times. And my aunt used to do Special Olympics. She did Special Olympics bowling. So it's always a great time. And then I love getting to tell her. And she still talks about it, how much fun she had. She's in her 50s. So I think that's such a testament to what it means to the athletes. And then, of course, to the parents, too. Can
I ask you what you did? Like,
yes.
what was your responsibilities while you were volunteering for the Special Olympics?
Yes, so we did eye exams. And
okay.
I'm friends with a woman who kind of co-coordinated all of that. So she asked if I would come again this year. Last year I scribed. And so you write down, they do the eye exams. And that was a lot more intimidating because they're giving you these different conditions. And I don't even know how to spell that. So, so this time I got to check athletes in, but I had mentioned, my aunt is a former Special Olympics athlete, and she has obviously a developmental disability, and it's pretty interesting. So for her, that's one that she is somebody that you can see that she has a developmental disability. But I was checking people in, and it's just a reminder. There's a range of people with different conditions, and so some people it doesn't present the way like my aunt does. And so I would check people in, and I would say, you go up to a group of people and you say, okay, I'm checking you in for an eye exam. And there's a few people who would say, I'm not here for an eye exam. I'm here with my athlete.
Yeah.
Hey man, you had a lanyard on. I'm checking you in. But it's also the reminder that if you look for the things that you have in common, you will find that. If you look for the differences, you'll find that too.
That's great. That sounds like a worthwhile weekend that you had.
Yeah.
I used to volunteer heavily for the Special Olympics. I mentioned to you I was my beat in Chicago for a while.
Yeah, and you highlighted a different Special Olympics athlete every day, right?
We did. Up to the big duck drop. They do they drop a bunch of ducks into the Chicago River up there, and it's a big culmination of the Special Olympics, and I got to host that a couple of years. And then leading up to that, we would meet the athletes all across the state of Illinois. And it was a lot of fun. And then when I was in high school at campus, I used to volunteer every year for the Special Olympics basketball tournament. I was a referee.
Oh, okay.
So.
And how did that end, though?
Well,
you
they were better basketball players than I was a referee.
Yes.
And so it would usually end with me getting yelled at or something like that. So.
Hey, I get it.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
So. We got a little late start today.
We did.
We had we're working this computer system in there to get this stuff going.
Yeah, Karina, who is a part of our digital team, incredible. Today's her birthday, and she's off. And
I know.
She called and she said, "Are you guys struggling?" Yeah, we are, Karina. We're behind.
We did.
So she logged us in.
But we made it happen. We are live on Facebook right now too. If you're watching this on Tuesday at what time is it? 7:43. And you can also find us on KSM Plus, which is our streaming product, and you can get it on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV, and it's easy to download if you want to check out all of the unique content exclusive to KSM Plus. I know Lisa Teachman and her staff have been working on some weather stuff that you could find at KSM Plus eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, not yet, but eventually. Now, the car show was fun, and I love small towns and car shows, man.
Was there a car that you saw that you...
Every single one of them.
Oh,
yeah, I just love cars.
Did you bring your own?
Yeah, it was trash though. I'm not in the car show, but
you have a pretty nice pickup.
It's
I won't
a nice
tell
truck.
people what you drive.
No, I have a nice truck.
You do have a nice
truck. I
truck.
do, but I didn't know. I enjoy. It's so much more about the cars too. It's not just the cars. It's the people.
Yeah.
You get to talk to all these wonderful people and hear the stories behind the cars, and a lot of times those vehicles that are in the car show, the individuals. That car's been in their family for, maybe their father, their grandfather owned it, and then they inherited it and fixed it up. And it was it's a great time. Eureka's a fun little town. I spend a lot of time in Eureka, Kansas. I grew up there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My grandparents had a place out there, and I spent my summers out there. So it's a little bit like a second hometown. I think the locals in Eureka may not accept me like that, but
I
but
think they will claim you, especially your friends at Benny's. They definitely will claim you.
Okay, getting into the Benny's talk. No, I would like to think I'm an honorary local, but
you've been out there long enough. I think you can claim it.
Yeah, well,
yeah, your
okay.
neighbors would say it. Yeah,
they might.
Was there anything like a car that your family has kept? Because I know your grandfather was a car guy too.
He was a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
He collected motorcycles, so no, there was nothing. I like classic cars, but I've never really owned one.
Yeah.
I've just.
Me either.
Have you not?
A hobby for another time.
You know what? People don't know what you drive. I remember the first time you pulled up, and I thought, okay.
I think that got me the
I think
evening
we're good.
job.
I think we're good. Yeah, I won't tell people what you drive. Let's just say it's not what you think, is what I would say, because it shocked me a little bit.
They're going to be out there scouring the parking lot waiting for us to pull up. What do they drive?
So yeah.
I like cars and yeah.
I know you do, and you like one particular kind of car.
I do,
which
like one.
Which is interesting. I found that to be fascinating.
Yeah,
we
just
could
one.
Talk about that some other show.
Yeah,
but you do have a. Yeah, she has a cool car, and it. After I got to know you, it does fit you. You know, cars are interesting because I find that cars sort of fit the personality of the people that drive them.
I would say the truck fits yours.
Does it?
Yeah.
My wife said that I'm not a truck guy.
Oh, well, she knows you better than I do.
She does.
So if she says that, then
and I mean, maybe I'm not,
her.
because I've never owned well, I take that back. I've never, as a regular vehicle, I've never had a pickup truck. I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
And so then I bit the bullet and I bought one. And I love the truck.
Yeah.
But I kind of side with my wife here. Maybe I'm not a pickup truck guy.
Oh, why do you
maybe
say
I'm not
that?
a truck. I don't know, because I'm already looking at other things.
Oh, but that
which I will not buy. Don't worry.
She's watching, saying no.
Yeah.
But you're a car guy, so I think that just comes with the territory. If you like vehicles, I try to stick to cheaper hobbies.
Oh, it's not a hobby though. I see. Car collecting is rather expensive, I think, but that's why I don't do it, because I like cheaper hobbies too.
Same. Bass fishing.
I like bass fishing. That's a pretty cheap hobby.
I did over the weekend go rollerblading.
See, you're supposed to say, we should have led with that.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Rollerblading was pretty cool. I didn't know it was like a leadable thing.
Oh yeah. Man, where do you rollerblade?
I rollerblade in my neighborhood. So if you saw me and you were concerned, that was probably a good feeling.
Here's my question.
Right one.
Here's my question for you. When you rollerblade, are you in full rollerblade uni?
I don't have a helmet, and I should.
Oh man,
but
what are you doing?
You know the people that you see rollerblading, like either in the movies or they're on the beach, and you're like, wow, they look so cool.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Well, are you like elbow pads, knee pads?
No. Here's the ironic part. I bought the rollerblades years ago.
Sure you did.
As a kid, though, I've probably had the rollerblades for like 10 years. But as a kid, I was roller skating, fell, bit a chunk of my tongue off, had it sewed back on, and went to speech therapy for years. And then now I have a job where I talk for a living. So I had flashbacks rollerblading this weekend.
Let's rewind a minute, because I think I heard you say you bit your tongue off.
Not the whole thing, just like a chunk of it. And they sewed it back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But now, fast forward how many, decades later, and I'm having these flashbacks of it's okay if you fall, just keep your tongue inside.
I just like how you just glossed over that. Like, you say, I was rollerblading, I tripped, I fell, bit my tongue off. They sewed it back on, but now I talk for a living.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that should be like, you don't continue that as a hobby, but I think it's fun.
So let me ask you this, and you may not recall, I don't know if it's traumatic, but where did you, your tongue, you bite a chunk off.
Yeah.
What happens after that? Did you find the chunk, put it in some ice?
So it was not completely severed.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was like the end of it, not like the tip of it, the end of it. I just bit the corner off. And of course, like I was with a babysitter. I'm sure the babysitter felt so terrible. My parents were on a work trip, so they came home early. And my mom would tell me the story of, we're in the emergency room and the doctor says, you have to get her to calm down so I can stitch it on right. Mm-hmm. And I praise the Lord that she did, because he was able, you can't tell. I could show the people, but
no, we don't
it's not that kind of a podcast.
We're good. We don't want to see it.
And, but then of course, that's not the natural formation of your tongue. So it was a little off. That's how I ended up in speech therapy. But I also love that they paid attention to that. And then I got to, have a career where I talk.
I would have never known that you bit your tongue in two.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
All things are on the table during after hours.
Sounds like it. Even your tongue. Yeah.
But that, but then I went rollerblading over the weekend. That was the whole point of it.
Yeah, but Julia, you're not wearing a helmet. You're not wearing pads. I mean, come on.
I know. There could be smarter things to do. But once you hit the sidewalk, you're in pretty good shape. I also think the roads, it reminds me how maybe uneven the roads are in Wichita. Don't recommend it in the road. Sidewalks are okay. And then I do think it helps me with my skiing.
How long do you rollerblade? Like when you strapped them on this weekend?
I went for an hour.
Oh, that's a long time.
I know. It was a good workout.
That's a good workout.
I know. It really was.
Okay.
And I got better in the process of that.
Let me ask you this. Is there a rollerblading community that you have reached out to, maybe?
No, I don't think I'm there yet. I think I'm going to buy the helmet, maybe the elbow pads, and then I'll keep practicing.
Okay.
Work my way up.
Okay, that's really cool.
Would you rollerblade?
No, I used to roller skate.
Okay.
I used to work at a roller skating rink. I was a DJ at a roller rink years ago, and I played like 2 songs, and I got let go.
Oh,
I just played George Strait songs.
Oh, and that in Kansas, you wouldn't think that would get you fired.
I thought it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But apparently, they like variety at the roller rinks.
Well,
you can't just play, like Amarillo by Morning and The Chair. You just, nonstop. And played The Fireman. That was a song by George Strait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so I didn't do a very good job. I think it lasted like 2 weekends. I did work in radio. Yeah.
And was it a country station you worked at?
I did. I was a country disc jockey.
Wow.
At KZSN Kissin 102 F. I did not get fired from my radio station.
No, from the roller rink.
They did let me go, yes. and to make matters worse, the people that own the roller rink were family friends. And so then I still had to
see them at Thanksgiving.
They're like, maybe you'd be better, I don't know, checking the skates out at the counter.
Did you do that after?
I think think they just said it's not working out. You got to splitsy. So
you had a lot of odd jobs. I'm actually a little surprised that you worked there.
I did. I've had a lot of odd jobs. That was fun. I liked to roller skate, and years ago, I don't think I could get on skates now. Break a bone or something.
I would
my
watch.
brittle. Well, I got brittle hips. I'd probably just smash a hip or something against a kid. Yeah, it would be bad. I'd hit a kid and smash a hip.
Unfortunate for the kid.
You're right. Well, since my bones are probably soft at this age, I don't think it would hurt him too bad. Like those soft, squishy bones. You get to a certain age.
I think you need to go to the doctor.
Is that something I should get checked out for?
I think if they're squishy, yeah.
Squishy bones? It happens though. Right?
Have you been fired from any other jobs?
I have not been fired. I was asked to leave. Is that the same thing? Okay, no, it was, we've eliminated your position. I've had that before.
Okay, that's different.
Well, no, because it was weird. They immediately replaced me after I left. So I don't think that was I don't know if that was an accurate, that might have been their nice way of saying you're done.
Yeah.
Well, it was. I mean, it was their way of saying you're done.
Did you deserve it?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
I did. I did deserve it.
What was it?
I was young, and I was asked to do something that was important, and I had a haircut appointment at the same time. And I took the haircut appointment, and that was the end of me.
But not for your TV career. Look at that.
Well, no, it worked out, kind of.
It all worked out. You know what? I was asked to not do something also.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've been fired.
So, and you might find this funny. My first job in TV, I was a teleprompter operator. That was my first role. And I ran it for one show, and they said, thank you so much. We're going to put you somewhere else.
And thankfully, you've never had to run the prompter again.
I didn't. We just started running our own prompters.
Now we do that.
That's why I was so stressed running your prompter, because I was told, well, that's not really your strong suit. We're going to put you on cameras.
Man, I had a prompter. I had that same fear. People, excuse us as we talk about TV
Talk
stuff.
shop.
I had the same fear in Chicago. I'd never run my own teleprompter before. And when I went there, they were like, hey, union rules, you got to run your own prompter. And so I'm like, okay, no big deal. And when I got there, I was teamed with a woman who was a legend in just the big time superstar in Chicago, you know? She had been there like 100 years.
She'll love hearing that.
She's not watching. And anyway, long story short, she was retiring, and she had this huge, what's not a monologue, not a, what's
like a goodbye, a farewell, maybe?
Oh, not a manifesto, just a huge goodbye that was all written out, and it was in the teleprompter, and it was her last night, and it was a big deal in Chicago. This journalist had been there forever, and she was well known and well respected. And anyway, I had to run the prompter for her last night as she gave the goodbye. And
no pressure to the new guy.
And I had only been there like a month. So I was sitting off of the side, we're sitting on the stage, and I have to operate this little handheld thing, and basically it scrolls the words, and she was pretty intimidating woman, and I sure as heck did not want to screw this up.
And did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No. I nailed it, actually. I crushed it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that.
Add that to your
means.
resume.
Yeah. It's not going to get me anywhere, but I understand what you mean about being asked not to do something again.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was just like, we're eliminating your position. Not really. And then you got to go. And so then I left.
Everyone else who's in that position gets to stay, just not you.
They should have just said, we're eliminating you, but we're keeping the position.
Okay, I've got a question. Do you think in that instance, honesty is the best policy?
Yes, I think they should. Well, let me say that the individual who told me that they were eliminating my position was actually very open and honest, and told me why I was being let go a little bit. And it was great advice, and I took his advice, and it helped me out for the rest of my life.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was a really good moment for me. A bad moment at the time, embarrassing. Obviously, you don't want to get let go. But I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And he gave me some very blunt, sage advice that I've carried on for 100 years now. Seems like 100 years.
I do think that blunt advice is best, unless you're commenting on Facebook. Then don't do that.
You're right. Well, we're almost out of time. We only got like 2 minutes left. So.
I know. Was there one highlight from this weekend? That was our original topic, and I like that we go rogue.
I just love spending time in small Kansas towns, and I love talking to people, and I love the folks that make us, the farmers and the ranchers and the oil guys. They're just I just like hanging with those dudes. Yeah, that's the highlight, is get to spend time with a group of really hardworking, great people.
Oh, and looking at their cars.
Yeah. And you? I mean, obviously, I think you are very near and dear to Special Olympics, and that was probably a fulfilling, worthwhile venture this weekend.
Yeah, and I will. I tell, especially, I have moved several times just for the job, and so I tell people, I think nonprofits are a great place to meet people, and I think it holds true that if you go to an event like that where people are going to volunteer their time for others, you're just going to run into great people, and I think that is such a reminder of what I experienced this weekend. Of everyone there is just really cool, and I think the same thing. You just get to meet people maybe that you have things in common with, and they want to better their community. I think that's cool.
Big weekend this weekend, Father's Day weekend. So congrats to all the dads out there, and they get to spend time with your dad, or spend time with your son, or your daughter, whatever you're doing. Be kind of cool. We
have 2 minutes left. I do want to know what you're going to do this weekend, but maybe that's a question for tomorrow.
I'd like to, let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do this weekend. I've got some plans to do some fishing with my son, I hope.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We always used to fish, and now he's he's old and goes
He's
to
not
college.
old. He's in
He's
college.
at K-State, and sometimes hanging with the girlfriend's more fun than fishing with Dad. But
Not on Father's Day
we'll
weekend.
See, yeah. No, I think he has to. I think he's obligated,
He is
contractually
obligated.
obligated to show up. Yeah,
That's
sure.
part of it, yeah.
So, all right. Well, anything about you? You good?
Yeah, I think we'll talk Father's Day tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. All right. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.